Hi, my name is Fred and I'm a community journalist for RPTV News. On April 26, 2023, TCHC and Tridel announced the launch of the Community Benefits engagement process to hear from residents and inform how $26.8 million in community benefit funds will be invested in the community over the next 10 to 15 years as part of the phases 4 and 5 of the Regent Park revitalization.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Esha Kidway, and I work at Toronto Community Housing with the Revitalization Engagement team here in Regent Park. And I'm going to start us off with the land acknowledgement and African ancestral acknowledgement. So we acknowledge that Toronto Community Housing is on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit and Métis people. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. In the spirit of truth and reconciliation, we acknowledge that these treaties have not always been honored, and often they've been broken. We also acknowledge that we are all a part of building good relations. We endeavor to go beyond land acknowledgements to material support and advocacy to forward Indigenous peoples' interests. We further acknowledge all treaty peoples, including those who came here as settlers, as migrants either in this generation or in generations past, and those who came here involuntarily, particularly Africans brought here as a result of the transatlantic slave trade. So first of all, thank you so much for coming out on this Wednesday evening for the launch of the Regent Park Community Benefits engagement process. Thank you. So we have a number of speakers this evening to help us mark this milestone and take us through the engagement process, starting with the President and CEO of Toronto Community Housing, Jag Sharma.
Good evening, folks, and what a wonderful evening. I got a chance to meet so many of you, and I got to tell you, this is the highlight of my day, which has been quite busy. So I'm going to stick to my script, and so good evening, everyone. Regent Park, from Regent Park, and welcome to our open house. I'm thrilled to see you all here today. Today is the beginning of how you decide you would like TCHC and Tridel to invest $26.8 million to create the Regent Park of your future. This is a huge moment for Regent Park, for the Regent Park community, so please take a moment to congratulate yourselves. I'd like to thank a few very important people. We have Councillor Moyes with us this evening, and I believe he'll be up next. And we have MPP Wong Tam, she was right here as well. And we want to thank them for their continued support. They've been here in the community for a number. And once again, I've thanked them personally myself to say their commitment means a world of difference for us, and they certainly continue to advocate for not only Regent Park, but for community housing. Also want to thank our process co-creators and supporters. We have the Regent Park Community Benefits Oversight Working Group, who volunteered to represent their friends and neighbors. So can we get a round of applause for them, please? We have Monumental Consulting, who provided the expertise in city building and participatory design. And this one's kind of important to me. We have the TCHC staff team, who have been so the backbone of the project. So to my team, if we get a round of applause for them as well. And finally, and certainly not least, Tridel. We've got Jim Ritchie here with us this evening, and he's going to be speaking in a few moments, but for being an incredible partner and generous benefactor in making this investment possible. Before I finish, I just want to leave you with a final thought. Revitalization is much more than bricks and mortars. Revitalization, it's a chance for you to envision the future for the next generation. So tonight, you're helping to shape the future of Regent Park. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Jag. So now I'll invite Jim Ritchie, the president of Tridel, our developer partner for phases 4 and 5 of the Regent Park revitalization and contributing $26.8 million worth of community benefits funds.
Thank you so much. Hi everybody, well, I was just introduced, I'm Jim Ritchie. I've got a couple colleagues here, a few with me tonight. I've got Brian, I think everybody knows Brian. And we have Maggie. There's Maggie, and where's the Sal? There we go. Oh, there she's back. I think you know the team really, really well. I'm going to stick to this because when I don't, I tend to talk a little too much. But I'll try to get the right information across. So I'm obviously, myself and my team, we're very honored to be here tonight. This is the Community Benefits Engagement Process launch. So it's a wonderful time to get everybody together and celebrate this. First of all, let me thank Toronto Community Housing for helping putting this all together. You guys always do amazing work on that front, and thank you so much for that. I guess I'll tell you just a little bit about us. We've been in this business, the housing business, a development and builder of all forms of different types of housing for many years. In fact, this year is our 89th year in business. We're going to celebrate our 90th year in 2024. So I tell you that in that helps us bring tremendous amount of experience into the very good work that we want to do with you and with Toronto Community Housing on this special day today, and as we go forward with revitalization of 4 and 5. So we bring you our experience, we bring you, we think, a great value proposition, and we absolutely bring our respect to you in this community. So I think that we consider ourselves to be a little more than a builder. I think we really pride ourselves in that, yes, we are building homes of different types, and some of them are very tall in the sky, and some of them are low to the ground. But really what we do is build community. And I've not seen a better example of community building than what we witness here at Regent Park. And I congratulate you for that. I congratulate TCH and obviously the Daniels Corporation and all the good work they've done here. So it's an amazing, amazing community. So when we started our process with Regent Park for phases 4 and 5 with TCH, and that journey started back in 2020, we committed $26.8 million towards a community economic development program, which obviously is to benefit the residents of Regent Park, you folks here this evening. So we've made this decision in this investment because we have seen how the lives, your lives, and the people that work and live and play within this community have changed when given opportunity and increased access to employment. So we want to explore those possibilities with you, and today is that kickoff with that. So what is this vision for that investment? Well, collectively, I guess it's all our vision, but more importantly, it's yours. And today marks the point in time where we really want to engage and to learn and to help frame how that vision will eventually work out this economic investment that we wish to make in the community. So suffice to say, we're all excited about the future of Regent Park. We look forward to a continued relationship, this great relationship we have with TCH, that we have with you as residents of Regent Park. But we look forward to even more so in collaborating throughout the community benefits process to determine the priorities. So this is a big opportunity for you to have your say and to help shape the future of your community. So let's work together and let's turn these possibilities into reality starting this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jim. So now I'll invite the Member of Provincial Parliament for Toronto Centre, Kristen Wong.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you can hear me at the back of the room. Okay, I was getting some nods. It's an honor to be here with all of you this evening. for a whole host of reasons. And before I speak about some of those reasons, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to TCHC, thank you to Tridel, thank you to all the extraordinary community partners, thank you to Daniels, and I want to just say also thank you to all of you. You have been asked time and time again, what do you want? Right? You have sat through so many community meetings, and you have lived through construction, you've lived through displacement, you've lived through coming back into the community, and you are still showing up. The success of the revitalization of Regent Park is much more than brick and mortars, and we all talk about that. It's about the people, it's about your families, it's about your dreams and aspirations, about what you want as a community. And that is so absolutely critical on how we move this forward. When you place your values at the front of the conversation, what I've heard as a previous city councillor and what I know as the member of provincial parliament is that you want to be seen, you want to feel included, you want to have equitable access to all the facilities, and you want to have opportunities. And that means being a part of all the wealth and opportunities that flow into Regent Park. And I see you nodding, I know you agree, because I've heard you at the table as you resonated these thoughts about how are you going to do and be a part of that success. It already is a success. 69 extraordinary acres make up this neighborhood, but we know it's much more than that. This is one of the most dynamic and important neighborhoods, not just in Toronto Centre, which I'm biased about, because you are important, but I would say that you're important to Canada, because you and this entire partnership with all the different partners coming together is the only way we can demonstrate that revitalization of social, publicly owned assets will work, not just here, but as a model to be exported outside of Toronto. So there's a lot of lessons that can be learned right here in Regent. I have visited a lot of neighborhoods, and as someone who now works at the province, I get to meet a lot of extraordinary colleagues who come from the north, who come from rural communities, and they come from a whole host of other places. And when I tell them about Regent Park, I can tell you that I'm just beaming with pride. I've invited a number of MPPs because I want them to understand how to do it right. Now, doing it right means getting the conversation right, placing all the critical pieces at the table correctly. And I know that this next conversation regarding the community benefits of $26.8 million sounds like a large number, doesn't it? But not really. When you break it down to how much things are costing in this city and in this province, in this country, and when we evaluate how that money is to be reinvested in the community and most importantly in the people, we want to see the triple bottom line yields. So we want to see a return to obviously TCHC, because if they're doing well, they can continue to invest in public housing, which we desperately need in the housing crisis. But we also want to see the investment in this community. And I desperately want to see an investment in the next generation. Your kids, this is what it's about. Making sure that your families have the opportunity to thrive because you have made the sacrifice to come here day in and day out, not just to this country, not just to Toronto, but through the endless community meetings that we've invited you to. So thank you for all that you do. I know that the investments in big and small is going to come out of that. Public space that is accessible and community owned and managed, whatever that looks like, to be negotiated, I know is paramount. Community safety, community building, and community affordability. You have mentioned that in every single prong. And I know that we will get there because of TCHC, and we will get there because of Tridel, and previously with Daniels, but more importantly than anything else, we get there with you. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kristen. Okay, so next I'd like to welcome the councillor for Ward 13, Chris Moyes.
Hello everybody, how are we? Hi Ines. It's lovely to see all of you here today. Before I start my remarks, I want to say I really don't like this setup. You know, it seems like, you know, I am here standing, we are here standing, and you there. And there's so many people in the far back. You should have a larger room with tables, you know, dialogue, opportunity to converse. So hopefully, you know, the powers that be that are listening can perhaps next time give us a larger and a more appropriate room so that, you know, it's inviting and it allows engagement. Again, we're here to talk about the Community Benefits Agreement in regards to the $26.8 million. And I know that the three things that we're going to talk about, and I hope we talk about, and I do hope that everyone here, you know, be engaged, ask the powers that be here as many questions, as many probing questions as possible. If you feel that the questions that are answered in a way that you know you feel that it needs to be answered, ask it again and probe hard. Because this is your meeting, it's not their meeting, right? Again, promises have been made and promises need to be kept. So the three buckets I know that we are going to talk about here, categories, are employment, major investments, I think it's $500,000+, and bucket number 3, as I call it, ongoing small or micro grant that can be given out to different programs and organizations. So again, stay focused, you know, as to why it is we're here and what we want. I know for me as a counselor, and I've only been a counselor for 5 months now, my focus has mainly been, you know, Section 37 community benefits charges, which is very different from what we're talking about here tonight, which is the community benefits agreement, which is separate from the Section 37 benefits. So those two things are very separate, and even for me as a counselor, I sometimes get the two confused. So not to imply that you don't know the difference, but it takes me a little bit more time to actually understand some things. But I hope we have a lively discussion here tonight. And I know a lot of notes are being taken. And I was told that your feedback will be taken back and be, you know, considered and advised. And hopefully it will come back to you at some point in a concrete way and perhaps re-examined and reanalyzed and make it out to be something that we all can live with. When I say all, I mean you. So again, I don't want to delay the start of this meeting. I think, you know, my part here is very small, but more importantly, I want to hear from you. So I will hand it back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councillor. So now I'm going to invite my director, William Mendez, the Director of Program Development at Toronto Community Housing, to talk us through the Community Benefits Engagement process.
All right, thank you very much, Esha. Thank you. So our councillor brought up a very important point. It's about engagement. And today we're launching that engagement process. And it actually starts today, not only, I know some of us are back here, but once we're done all these speeches, we want to mix and mingle, network, and we want to hear from you today. And through our surveys, we have our community animators here as well as members of our Community Benefits Oversight Working Group who have co-designed this engagement process that is going to be launched today and is going to take place throughout the spring heading into summertime. And in that engagement process, we hope to engage not only everyone in the room, but mothers, fathers, uncles, aunts, young people, grandparents, elders in the community. Everyone that lives in Regent Park, we want to engage in this process. That means thousands of people will be asked to participate in focus groups, surveys, conversations with our team members, as well as the Community Benefits Oversight Working Group, to get an understanding as to what you would like to see as community benefits and investments made by the city, TCHC, and Tridel as part of the Community Benefits Agreement. So, during the spring, we're going to engage. During the spring, starting today, all the way till the end of June, we're going to engage the community. In the summertime, we're going to take all that feedback and input and data that we gather from the community, and we're going to work with the Community Benefits Oversight Working Group, who are made up of residents from Regent Park, to take a look at that and create packages. Okay? Those packages are going to contain the priorities and ideas and wishes and desires of Regent Park. Those packages are then going to come back to the community in the fall, okay? And you're going to see those packages that represent your ideas and wants, and you're going to vote. You're going to have the opportunity to make the decision as to which package you would like for your community in Regent Park. Okay, so that is at a high level what we're going to do in the upcoming months. We're very excited to start this conversation with everyone in Regent Park, and I would just like to thank. I know the members of the Community Benefits Working Group are sprinkled all over the place, but if you want to put your hands up, or I'd just like to especially acknowledge the contributions of residents that have played a leadership role to co-design this process. So if you want to put your hands up, or if you can stand, but just thank you very much.
We've been working together for the last year to bring us to today. So it's very important. There's a lot of rich leadership in Regent Park. We'd like to continue that throughout this process. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Will. Okay, so now we're going to hear from some Regent Park residents, members of the Community Benefits Oversight Working Group, which we affectionately call Seabog. So if you've ever heard that around the neighborhood, that's what Seabog is referring to. So I'm going to invite our resident co-chair, Waleed Kogali Ali, one of our RPNA representatives on the working group, Gail Lynch, and one of our two TCHC Tenant Council representatives, Ines Garcia, to talk us through what Seabog does and how we got here.
Thank you so much, Esha. Regent Park, how you all feeling today? Hope you're all excited. Today is a very historic day. It's the launch of our Community Benefits Agreement process. Today, we are going to make sure that as many residents of Regent Park are included in the most important decision ever, which is how do we allocate $26.8 million in community benefits? How do we invest it in the community wisely? Now, I want to give you a quick story. Seabog, or the Community Benefits Oversight Working Group, didn't just appear from nowhere. It was through the collective efforts of residents who are part of the Regent Park Neighborhood Association. Shout out to Marlene, Ishmael, our co-chairs, who are also the co-chairs of the Social Development Plan. And we were supported by amazing folks like Toronto Community Benefits Network. And I see Rosemary, the executive director of TCBN here. Thank you for joining us, Rosemary. This collective effort of residents working with folks who are experts in community benefits led to the Community Benefits Framework. And that was a very important document. It was actually historic. It was signed by, where's Lloyd? Is Lloyd here? Lloyd signed it on behalf of RPNA, and we also had a representative from Toronto Community Housing, I believe it was Vincent, who signed it back then. He was one of the senior vice presidents. And this framework led the path to the creation of the Community Benefits Oversight Working Group, but also a Community Benefits Agreement. And why we wanted to lay down a framework is because we learned so much from phases 1 to 3. There was so many lessons learned. There were some good things, but there were also mistakes made. And we did not want to repeat the mistakes in phases 4 and 5. And so what we did is we ensured there's going to be transparency, accountability built into the Community Benefits Agreement. But we wanted to empower resident voices. We wanted them not just to co-develop and co-design, but make the ultimate decision of how that community benefit dollars are spent, okay? So, why are we all here? We're here to spread the good news about this important survey that is going to help inform the community benefit packages that Will talked about, so that in the fall, we have that very important vote on how the money is spent. And I want to challenge all of you to think about all the ideas that you have never been brought to the table. No idea it's too crazy or too much. Every idea is welcome. We've heard of land trusts, right? We've heard of endowment funds, right? To make sure that when the investments are finished in a decade or two, that there's money, sustainable funding for programs and the amazing organizations that operate in Regent Park. So I want to challenge you all to bring all those great ideas to the table because we want to hear them. I also want to say, as a resident co-chair, it wasn't easy, and I want to thank all the members of Seabog, especially our amazing subject matter experts. I see Deanie Peters from the Regent Park Community Health Center. Thank you, Deanie. Kumsa Baker, who's not with us here, he represented Toronto Community Benefits Network. We had Pavitra, who also represented RPNA. We have friends from the Social Development Plan, Young Street Mission, specifically represented by Caitlin. I don't know if Caitlin is with us. There she is. Excellent. She does look different. And I think it's important to recognize the contributions of everyone that helped us get to this place. So, on behalf of all the folks who support this collective effort for a community benefits agreement, I want to thank each one of you for showing up today, for caring enough about your community, and for being involved. So thank you so much, and have a lovely evening. Thank you.
Gail?
Good evening, everybody. Whoa, this is a tough crowd. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Gail Lynch. I am a resident. I live next door. I'm not a TCHC resident. I'm a Market resident. For me, so Seabog is important and the work that we're doing because we're really looking at to say, how can we engage you, the residents? In other words, what information can we give you so that you can make a good decision, or not good, so that you can make the right decisions for your community. So I want to ask this question. How many single parents, or if you're a single parent in this room, raise your hand. Okay, so I got a few. Fantastic. And the theme of this is your opportunity. You're a single parent. What should we do with 26.8 million as single parents? For children. Absolutely. So this is your opportunity. So when you get that survey, when you're having these conversations with the powers that are here, this is what you want to tell them about. How many families are here where your children are first generation? So you were born, the parents, you were born outside of this country and your children were born here. First generation, second generation. There we go, right? So again, this is your opportunity, right? Because our issues are all different. There are commonalities, absolutely. But we are communities, we are a community of communities. So there are different things that would impact us. Single parents, single fathers, single mothers, children who are going to university in the next 10 to 15 years. Anybody going to university in the next 10 to 15 years? Exactly. So again, this is your opportunity to say in the survey and to those that are here, here's how we want to spend this 26.8 million. And what I'd like you to do is to change your language. Do not ask if you can have. Say what you want. This is your community. This is your opportunity. I was raised in a slave village, single parent, who had 3 children that she had to raise. She did not go to high school. She, though, took all the opportunities that came her way so that her children would be able to go to university, be able to go to high school and then be able to go to university, right? So again, this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity. I can't say that enough. And I want to leave you with some words from Martin Luther King. And he says, darkness cannot drive out darkness. We talk a lot about what has happened in the past in Regent Park. This is your opportunity. Only light can drive out darkness. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Injustice anywhere. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. This is your opportunity. There's always a light, if only we are brave enough to see it, and if only we are brave enough to be it. Those are the words of Amanda Gorman. This is your opportunity. This is our opportunity. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ines Garcia. I'm a TCHC tenant. I'm going to give a little history about me. I've been living here for 33 years. I've been involved since before the revitalization. I've been involved in sitting in every committee there is in this community as a tenant representative and as a TCHC tenant. I sit in the Seabog. It's important that the 26.8 million is because of TCHC tenants, because of the revitalization. And it's important for you guys as a TCHC tenant to say what you want that money to go towards, because this is the money that has come because of us, the TCHC tenants. It's crucial for your voices to say what you want. It's very important for you guys to come and say, I'll be around region, going around with surveys, because I know sitting in this Seabog, the language barrier, how to put it in a simple way for everyone to understand it. So that way it's easy for you and me to write what we want to see for our future of our kids. My kids are all growing. I have grandkids now that I have to look for their future. I'm getting older, but I'm still standing here. That's how much I'm telling you how important it is for you to please look at the survey, fill it up. It's very crucial. 26.8 million, it looks like a lot, but it's not a lot. So please, fill up. I will go around with the surveys, and there's a whole bunch of us in the team that is going to be doing that. If you need translators, please ask. Thank you.
Thank you, Ines. So we've learned a lot from all of these amazing individuals, and now we would like to talk about how we can access the survey, the main purpose of this event. We have registration tables with handouts about how you can access the survey online, and there are QR codes that you can scan. If you scan the QR codes, it'll directly take you to the link, and you can fill out the survey online and learn about the details of the community engagement and the community benefits plan.
So thank you to all of our speakers and of course everyone for coming out this evening. So the survey is now open. You can look to any of the registration tables for the info sheet that walks you through the engagement process and also what the 3 buckets are. You can also do a paper copy of the survey. And feel free to talk to any of the Seabog folks, any of the community animators, if they can just wave their hands, because you can always go through the survey with them or ask any questions.
Hi, I would like to say one more thing, please. My name is Marlene DeGeneva. I'm one of the co-chairs for the RPNA, and I live in a market building. And I do want to remind people that in the market buildings, about 60% of every market building is rental. And among the rental people, you have people living there at risk. Not everyone living in a market building is wealthy. Nobody living in a market building is wealthy, for that matter. But they're people at risk. And of this 26 million, we need to allocate some of that people who are at risk, who don't get anything from the city, who don't get anything from TCHC. These are people who flounder on their own with nothing. And so as part of that, if you know anyone who has these difficulties, or if you are someone in those difficulties who are living in a too small apartment with too many people, you need to put that in this survey as well. So please try and recognize and have compassion for those people in the market buildings. We rarely hear about this. Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay, thanks, Marlene. Okay, so everyone, please, feel free to continue to enjoy refreshments and do any of the engagement activities, and we're all here and happy to speak to you. Thank you.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And please follow our social media platforms. For more information, check out our website.